What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra. Is your favorite Ra player, maybe the only one who makes Ra work nowadays at the top level. His name is Kimo. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Matreiuss. The map is Marsh. Yes, the map is Marsh, and we have seen a spy already dropped onto Kimo's Pharaoh over here. And Kimo's going to be really happy with this relic here. The Bridle of Pegasus. It's actually a huge relic to get picked up for Ra, because Ra, simply put, does not get that much of a scout. Scouting is a little bit difficult for Ra, but if you have this relic, you get a Pegasus, you're going to be able to scout the entire map. That's going to be a really, really big advantage to be had. But yes, the map is Marsh, which will mean there's a lot of relics here, there's a lot of food, and Loki is going to have a lot of advantages here because he likes to build high food units, high food cost units. We do see the Titan's treasure here in the middle of the map. This is actually a decent relic to have in this matchup. A lot of the times, Ra players can actually make it very difficult for Norse players, and Loki is included in that by going to the Titan Age and finding a victory there, because it can be quite difficult for the Norse player to actually get that Titan out. But with this relic here, it will actually allow you to get that Titan out at a cheaper cost, which means you can invest a little bit more into like your infantry units or whatever that are building the Titan up. So you can get that out a little bit earlier and have an advantage where that's concerned. There's two other relics on the map. We've got the Dwarven Calipers here, giving you a reduction in siege cost. It's a decent relic, but in this matchup, probably not that big of a deal. And also over here, we've got the Mythical Horseshoes. This one's going to be a huge relic for both players to find and utilize in this game if they do decide to pick it up. Part of the game plan from the Egyptian side of things here is you want to be going in with infantry units, namely spearmen, to deal with cavalry, but you can also go in with cavalry as well. But if you go spearmen and your opponent has Mythical Horseshoes, then the reigning cavalry become even more strong. They become even more, well, not strong, but they do get more strong. But the point is that they become more adept at dealing with spearmen. As we see the monument coming down, the house coming up here as well. Kimo empowering this house must have had a little bit of problems here with his early game build order. One thing that I've learnt from I've learnt about Kimo, not learnt from Kimo, is that Kimo doesn't actually have any set builds. So I'm not sure if this is 100% true or not. Oftentimes he'll be playing the game and it'll look very similar. So while he says he doesn't have any set builds, he probably does have set builds, just he doesn't actually know what they are. He just kind of does the same thing, which will result in him having some kind of strange openings from time to time, like 3 villages on a temple plus a pharaoh. Means you are losing resources by doing this. It's like quite a bit. As Kimo now going to be advancing up to the classical age through Dart. No surprises there. He does go for the 3:16 advance time. It's quite fast. Oftentimes we do not see Ra players going for a 2-town center against Loki. It can be a little bit of a difficult thing to make happen on certain maps. If you have a good map, obviously 2-town center is decent, but it is what it is. Whereas Matreiuss here is going through 4-setting, no real surprises there, though. I mean, considering all of the games of Soup we've been seeing recently where he goes Heimdall, I guess 4-setting in this matchup is a little bit of a surprise considering how good Heimdall is against Ra, given that it can open up a Ra player's base by eliminating a tower, getting onto the gold mine, or even just eliminating a Migdol stronghold or something with the combination of Heimdall and Njord, being able to completely dismantle a Ra while he hasn't spent the resources that he's been gathering in. So we do see the wooden wall coming up here. A little bit late from Kimo to get that one up, so he's going to be having a little bit of problems defending this tower over here. As you can see, he's trying to get these walls up as fast as he can. And he does manage to defend that tower for the time being, as the Herso have to retreat back. So we see a longhouse coming through for Matreiuss. Kimo's decision here to go for a second town center is incredibly greedy, but he does have the shifting sands. If he wants to use it, he probably should be bringing the priest over as well to try and deal with these Herso here, as they're going to be going after these villages. A little bit of micro here from Kimo will go a long way, as the Herso will be retreating away from this, as Kimo wants this town center up. But the question is really, what does it actually give him, as the Wadget now going to get taken down very, very fast here. One Herso going down. A second Herso may fall here as well for the Wadget. That's a good trade there for Kimo, as he picks off the other Herso. His Pharaoh's going to come over here, and Matreiuss is probably going to have to retreat away, as the Pharaoh goes straight after that troll over here. Low HP villagers getting picked off. Good micro there from Kimo, as his Pharaoh gets pulled in, gets a little bit of damage done onto it, as the villagers getting some good damage through here. This low HP villager over here could get sniped by Matreiuss as well. Good micro here from Kimo, but Matreiuss does get the snipe there, as the villagers going to be coming back over onto this location. We've only got 3 Herso remaining against the 7-8 villagers remaining on this town center, as Kimo will get his town center up. He's got himself 300 wood in the bank to get himself Shadoof. Does he have it already? Yeah, to get himself Shadoof, husbandry, plow, pickaxe, all those upgrades, but he will be behind the curve here in terms of efficient, raw, second town center shenanigans with a 5-minute, 45-second town center. But Matreiuss did invest quite a lot of resources into defending that, or not defending that, preventing that. So it comes out at being roughly equal when all things are considered. But Kimo losing a villager there does end up being a big deal. As we see more villagers jumping onto wood over here for Kimo. He's getting himself a barracks up, going to start thinking about getting himself axemen through as well. And we'll see what Matreiuss' plan is here. Matreiuss' plan, no real surprises here. Drop a second town center, maybe even drop a third town center here. Wouldn't go astray after that damage is done. And you can have a huge economy here with Loki. One thing that I think that some lower level Loki players forget is that while you have a very, very strong timing attack in one town center play with Loki, Loki's late game is actually really, really good if you can get there without being on the back foot. And this means basically putting pressure on getting a decent flaming weapons and hitting the mythic age and able to start getting yourself those fire giants out and finding a good foothold in the game. And I think that's something that Matreiuss has realized over the course of this game, is that we do see a random Pharaoh just sneaking across the map. Not sure what it's trying to do. Maybe looking for a shifting sands of some variety or something, as the Axemen are starting to spew out across the map. Maybe trying to prevent a town center from going up, but the town center does come up for Matreiuss. He's going to have these boar over here to grab. And this classical fight here from, or not necessarily classical fight here from Kimo, but 2 town center Axemen kind of building shenanigans that Kimo's going for here might not end up being the correct decision to go for here. We'll see how things are going to go, as the Pegasus is still scouting out across the map looking for something to find. There's some units coming through from Matreiuss. Going to check out this gold mine. We'll find a couple of units over here, as the Pharaoh's sitting a little bit idly by. Kimo really losing out on his economy by quite a bit by not having that one empowering. It's one of those things that you kind of don't realize, but if, like, think about it like this. Would you randomly have 3 villages sitting idle? And that's roughly what a Pharaoh not empowering is equal to. If you put that onto the gold mine over here, you've got yourself 12 villages. It's roughly equal to 3 or maybe even 4 villages being idle there. If you could do that, as Kimo does cast his rain god power. He's got himself 20 villages on food here, but only, what is this? Only 12 farms here, as the villagers finishing up on those Aurochs, still pumping out more farms here, even though he's got next to no gold. He's going to be having a lot of food to play with, as the wood, the wood here acting as a natural defense for Matreiuss to kind of wall this one off and prevent that gold mine from being grabbed. As do we see Matreiuss doing anything cheeky here? So there is a really, really cheeky kind of play that you could do to catch a Ra player off guard, especially a greedy farm building Ra player off guard here, is instead of building units here, instead of getting himself Hall of Thanes, instead of getting himself raiding cavalry, instead of having villagers on wood right now, he could have villagers on food, have hit the heroic age. By the time this reign is over, immediately be thinking about clicking Walking Woods and hitting a huge timing attack on this town center to pick off this whole entire location with a mountain giant and everything. You reposition the temple to be nice and close here, delete the home temple, all those good things. and find yourself in a really good position. But right now, Matreiuss is hitting that one a little bit later. I imagine same too is Kimo. He's going up through Hathor. And for the 3 months there, Spartan James. Appreciate you, my friend. As we do see the wall over here is going to be getting taken out as the raiding cavalry and Hursa are going to be pushing through. We see the barracks coming up over here onto this position. As the units pushing through here, going to be looking to take out that Pharaoh. Thank you for the 29 months, True Drips. Appreciate you, my friend. Trip went great. It was a fun trip. We do see the Valkyrie spawn coming in over here as these units are hitting a really, really nice timing on Kimo, who really doesn't have that many units out, but he does have the Skin of the Rhino villages, and he's going to be getting a lot of damage done here with those villages because these raiding cavalry, they're just not that strong. There's just not that many of them. So the villagers here coming through to get some good damage done. Matreiuss probably going to be okay with the trade though, as long as he doesn't just completely lose all of his units. So as the units retreat back, Kimo's going to have to start thinking about getting himself that Migdol stronghold up straight away. Does he have the resources for it? Yes, he does. We'll see if he's going to try and chuck that down immediately or not. Whereas Matreiuss, he is going through Bragi, so no cheeky Njord shenanigery here. Even though I really like the Njord in this kind of situation, but he's not going for it. Villagers still moving around, eating all of the hunt on the map. Going to be having a great time with that. But Kimo will be having himself this rock. And his Pegasus should have given Kimo some. How is Kimo not know what the entire map is looking like? The rock going to be moving across the map, looking for something to do. Villagers here randomly attacking a crocodile, as well as the Migdol stronghold will end up getting up over here. But Kimo's looking like he's in a pretty decent position here. He's traded nicely with his villagers. He has lost some, so his economy is struggling, whereas Matreiuss' economy is full steam ahead. But Matreiuss has lost a lot more units than Kimo has. So it's kind of all in a balancing act here where Kimo needs to find some sort of value out of his military advantage right now in order to prevent Matreiuss from overtaking him in the future here. As we start seeing the Chariot Archers coming out for Kimo. No surprises there. Chariot Archer, Axeman, Spearman, kind of a very, very clean composition to go for. As the rock moving over onto this position, we do see the trolls over here, the town centers over here, and Kimo is actually going to be losing this rock here, potentially to these trolls. The trolls here move at exactly the same speed of the rock as the Hursa following over onto this. We will be seeing the Locust getting dropped in, and we do see two villagers getting killed, one villager getting killed. The trolls in here though, and we do see, we see the shifting sands on the trolls. He manages to keep the rock alive for the time being as the trolls and the Hursa get pulled into this location here. The priests are in on this position, going to be taking out those trolls, not allowing them to retreat back here. We've got a couple more units to take out those Hursa, but with the Hall of Thanes, they will be getting out of there. No real problems here, but Kimo not using his rock anymore after the shifting sands here. We see a ton of villagers over here. Imagine Locust on this gold mine instead here. And we do see another troll coming in after all is said and done, and the rock will end up falling. And Kimo loses the Pitsukos there as well, as we see this location over here going to start getting broken down. The wooden wall goes down. Kimo wants to get himself that third town center here as well. I imagine Matreiuss is not going to be allowing that too easily. He's sitting at 121 to 130 population. He's going to be moving in here with a whole bunch of raiding cavalry as well as the Hursa and everything else on the map going to be moving through. He's got the battle boar as well to boot. One big win condition for Matreiuss is simply just to hold this town center away from Kimo and just try and get to the Mythic Age, which is exactly what he's doing here. He's going through hell. He's going to be having himself Fire Giant. We see flaming weapons getting dropped down here to try and take out these villages, as Kimo is going to be losing every single one of them. The Einiyar coming through here as well is going to be a huge bonus, as all of the villages falling on this position. Matreiuss is in a great position right now. We are seeing a little bit of raids coming through, but the myth units are going to be more than enough to deal with that. Taking no more damage to Matreiuss' economy. He's still pushing forward quite heavily here in this game. Next step has to be to think about grabbing this town center as well. Whereas Kimo here he's got decent villages in the right now, but he just has no units out at this point. And Matreiuss is hitting the go button. He's saying, I'm just going to keep pushing. You don't have anything. I'm going to have battle balls. I'm going to have fire giants. We do see fortified town centers coming through. That's going to be a big bonus to damage coming out of that town center. So Matreiuss does decide to tap out. Meanwhile, we see the Pegasus sitting on this town center, just making sure that Matreiuss is not going to be able to snipe that one, build that one sneakily too easily. As we see a couple of priests coming out now for Kimo. But look at this. Kimo's in a really tough position right now. All the villagers falling. Matreiuss is in the Mythic Age. What can Kimo do right now to come back into this game, as we do see the Nidhogg getting chucked down onto this position over here as Matreiuss, he's going to have to pull back. He's sitting at 100 population right now. He's got himself 75 favor, building one fire giant already. So he's going to have like 4 fire giants out in total when all is said and done. Maybe even 5 fire giants out here. This is scary for a Ra player, because if you are not Mythic Age, you cannot deal with this. And Kimo has got no food in the bank. He's going to be trying to build himself a whole bunch of, I imagine, chariot archers here. And the fire giants are just going to completely obliterate that. Even the priest, even if he has like 10 priests out, the fire giants still go to town. And not only that, you can separate your Nidhogg and your fire giants into 2 separate kind of positions on the map, and really have an advantage there as well, because your opponent has to decide, well, do I try and take out the Nidhogg? Do I try and take out the fire giants? As the Hearser swinging around onto this position, trying to prevent any sort of boars from getting eaten or anything like that, is Kimo here. He is desperately trying to make his way over to the Mythic Age. You do see the priest and the Pharaoh popping out over here, getting a little bit of damage done onto the Nidhogg, as we're seeing some more raids coming through for Kimo. We're searching around the map, trying to find something to do, as we've got a couple of longhouses down, and we do see the Mythical Horseshoes has been uncovered finally here for Matreiuss. He's going to be grabbing that one. It's going to be absolutely huge, as these villagers over here are going to start getting taken out on this position. We do have a couple of low HP units, but we have Matreiuss reacting to this with his own army to deal with this one here, as one dwarf does fall here. See how things are going to go as the Nidhogg gets a little bit of damage done over onto those Axemen here. We see the units coming through. The Dwarves going to be swinging around onto these units as well to take these out. Not going to be too much damage dealt from the side of Kimo here. Not really managing that raid too well at that point there, as Kimo now pushing out onto the middle of the map here with his units. Is he hitting the Mythic Age yet? Yes, he is, going up through Osiris. He's got a mountain to climb to come back into this game. Does Matreiuss have himself a hill fort just yet? Looks like he doesn't, as the barracks going to be getting torn down over here. They're not going to be able to get up, as these fire giants are doing so much damage over here. Does Matreiuss have himself fortified town centers? Oftentimes a very easy way to play for a 2 town center Loki, or Norse in general, is instead of getting yourself the 4th town center, instead of getting yourself the 3rd town center, get yourself fortified town centers, because it doesn't cost you military units to build it, and you're basically getting just about the same amount of population from it, being on 2 town centers or being on 3 town centers with fortified town centers, that is. As the army still trying to push in here, but Matreiuss will be able to get this one up eventually with that Ulsark, unless Kimo going to be attempting to put a stop to that, which he does do with one heavy chariot onto that position there. As now we see the double hill forts coming out, and Matreiuss needs to know this, and I think he does. To deal with a Son of Osiris as Norse, you kind of need Ballista, or you need Frost, or you need Flaming Weapons. And obviously he's used his Flaming Weapons, so he's going to need those Ballista to come through to start dealing with this. We are seeing Kimo going for these really pesky, cheeky raids here. He's sending a couple of raiding cavalry, or a couple of chariot archers left, right, and center on this map here, as the army trying to push through here, getting some good damage done. We need those priests to start attacking some units. We see ourselves champion raiders for Matreiuss here. Kimo just about to hit the Mythic Age here through Osiris. The question is, will Son of Osiris be enough to hold here after Matreiuss has got himself a huge advantage in this game? Son of Osiris popping out here. We do see some little bits of micro here from Matreiuss pulling away. Not only that, we're going to start seeing the mummies coming out here as well for Kimo. He's got himself 65 favor in the bank, so that's going to be 2 mummies-ish when all is said is done. As the mummy comes through, I think you got to try and snipe that. Yeah, you got to try and snipe that mummy here, as he does send the Hearser through. The mummy going to be speed walking away from here, or somewhat. No, it's not. He's just trying to retreat. It's actually quite fast at 4 speed there, as he does snipe that mummy down, trading one Fire Giant for one Mummy and a whole bunch of HP there. Kimo's going to be pretty happy about that one, as Matreiuss now starting to get himself those Ballaster out. Ballaster Fire Giant, incredibly strong. Over here is the Town Center is getting up onto this position. The Raiding Cavalry do deal with that champion or the heavy chariot there as well, as we see a cheeky Doc attempting to come up onto this position to start going after that Town Center. They're not a bad idea at all, as we see a Migdol Stronghold coming up onto this position. Will that be enough or not, though, as the villagers are going to start getting absolutely eliminated here by those 5 Fire Giant on this position. We've got to get those Ballisters to start targeting down the Son of Osiris over here, and Kimo doesn't want to play it out any longer. Tapping out in this game. It's 4 Town Centers for Matreiuss. It's 5 Fire Giant plus more coming, I'm sure. Plus he's got double hill fort up, going up for a 3rd hill fort into those Ballaster, which means his Son of Osiris is basically useless now in this game, and he just cannot hold on in this matchup. You got to be thinking that this 2 Town Center Ra strategy against Loki just can't be it. You just can't be going for 2 Town Center against Loki. And I think that the more and more I'm seeing games played against Ra at the top level, the more and more players are finding ways in which to punish the greedy Ra and finding advantages in these games at the top level. So you gotta think, well, what else can Ra do? And I do think that Ra going for Classical Age shenanigans here, 1 Town Center Classical Age ideas, utilizing shifting sands to either snipe off a bunch of units or to defend themselves against flaming weapons, has to be the option. It has to be the way to play against Loki, but did not see that here. Kimo gets eliminated, and Loki yet again showing how he has become not so weak anymore. He is no longer sitting at my low, like my C tier of my tier list. He is sitting very, very firmly in that A tier, if not edging into S tier, given how many weak matchups he actually has right now in this game. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.